Welcome to our second Energy Engineers webinar on maximizing energy efficiency and the first part of our Back to Basics webinar series. Today we will explore innovative strategies and practical solutions for achieving savings in energy consumption. In today's world where energy costs and demands are increasing and the environment is becoming more and more a concern, optimizing energy efficiency is paramount. By implementing effective measures, we can reduce our carbon footprint, but also save costs. On the agenda today are energy efficiency fundamentals, key strategies for improving energy efficiency, case study, overcoming challenges and barriers, the future of energy efficiency, and finishing off with a Q&A. Energy efficiency fundamentals. Now, what is energy? Energy is a fundamental concept in physics and refers to the capacity or ability to do work. It is a scalar quantity measured in units, such as joules or kilowatt hours. Energy can exist in various forms and can be converted from one form to another. Efficiency. What is efficiency? Efficiency is a gauge on how effectively a system or process converts energy inputs to outputs, or with other words, how well a performance of a specific task is completed. It is often expressed as a ratio of how useful output to the total input, providing insight into resource utilization. What is energy efficiency then? In the context of energy, efficiency refers to how well a device, system, or process converts energy into useful work or services. High energy efficiency means that less energy is wasted in the conversion process, resulting in a more effective use of energy. In simple terms, energy efficiency is the optimization of energy usage. Business implications of energy efficiency. So, what implications does this have for your business? I've got a picture here where we show a red line where no energy audit was done, and a green line of the effect what an energy audit can have on a business. As you can see on the green line, less energy used, but still the same output. So, currently you spend a certain amount of money on energy to manufacture or support your organization. If you can achieve the same output with less energy, you reduce on your expenses, consequently boosting your profit margin. And as you can see from this picture, the margin would be considerably boosted. Significant advancement in energy efficiency have occurred in recent years, particularly with high efficiency machinery emerging from the United States and Europe. These advancements encompass technologies like heat pumps, energy recovery, improved motor control, and last but not least, LED lighting. Regardless of the equipment you currently employ, there are more efficient alternatives on the market. However, a thorough economic evaluation is necessary to assess the investment required for upgrade to these more efficient machines pay itself back. The worst thing you can do is overspend on technology to save money and fall into the trap and have higher expenses. Key strategies for improving energy efficiency. The first step of your energy efficiency journey begins with an energy efficiency audit. A well-conducted audit assists with your business in identifying easily achievable improvements, targeting the low-hanging fruits. This identifies your best point of improvement with a reasonable payback period, avoiding expenditure on upgrades that may not yield returns within a practical timeframe. The second step is energy measurements. The industry standard anticipates a 25% improvement in energy efficiency following the installation of energy measurement equipment. However, it is important to note that this is not a set and forget type of improvement. Ongoing attention and action are necessary for sustained effectiveness. Next in line is on-site energy generation, typically achieved through solar PV. However, it can also be on-site generation with heat recovery or various other forms of energy generation. Case study: microbrewery. One of our initial projects in 2022 involved conducting an energy audit and detailed energy measurements at a microbrewery. Following this audit, several enhancements were identified, some currently implemented, others not yet. The assessment also acknowledged areas where the microbrewery excelled at, notably in utilizing natural ventilation and fans to maintain a cool working environment. Implemented improvements included replacing the glycol unit and implementing various other minor improvements. Energy measurements were also conducted, revealing that the cool room was consuming significantly more energy than initially expected. Further investigation uncovered that the system was malfunctioning, leading to energy wastage. Our calculations suggest that we've achieved a 45% reduction in energy usage, resulting in a substantial reduction in operational cost without adversely impacting the product or production. Overcoming challenges and barriers. While energy efficiency may seem straightforward, attempting it without the guidance of experts like energy engineers can be fraught with pitfalls, such as overinvestment or unintended consequences on production and the working environment. Government grants are available for audits, measurements, and system improvements, but the application process can be time consuming for business owners who are already busy. Additionally, there are those unscrupulous individuals in industry, like electricians who claim to conduct audits but end up charging for replacing lights with low quality LEDs. These cheap LEDs can introduce a host of other issues. This does not mean that lighting replacement with LEDs will not yield energy efficiency improvements, but at what cost? On a positive note, effective implementation of energy efficiency audits can substantially lower production costs, providing a competitive edge over rivals. The future of energy efficiency, trends and innovations. A current trend in energy efficiency revolves around heat pumps, as well as the energy balance between heating and cooling energy in processes. This entails utilizing waste heat from cooling process to heat other components in the system, and vice versa. Another trend closely related to this is the adoption of heat and cold storage solutions. Another emerging trend involves the use of variable-speed drives. This is not a new technology, but rather its application is being simplified. These VSDs are used for process control instead of valves and are a lot more efficient. The rise of smart technology, particularly in the forms of IoT devices, is also an emerging technology with significant potential to impact energy efficiency. Disclosing or displaying of energy consumption associated with a product is also an emerging trend, allowing consumers to make informed choices while opting for products that utilize fewer resources. Previous trends encompassed LED lighting, improved refrigeration, insulation, and implementing energy efficiency systems. Question time. This question is based on some questions that we sent out to potential customers after last webinar. One of those questions was, what is your experience with energy efficiency? One of the answers we got back was, it's out of our budget to start with. And our response there was, we have a 15-minute Zoom assessment and a level 1 order to $14.95. Does not feel too expensive to me. Another answer that we got was, we had a guy that came and changed the lights. Afterwards, we had nothing but problems. And our response to them was, yes, using cheap LEDs can cause lots of problems. But it's the choice of LEDs, not the technology itself. Now, another question we asked What are your thoughts on energy efficiency audits? The first answer we got back was it doesn't include energy measurements. And this is true, it doesn't. However, seeing the potential of a 25% reduction in energy usage, measurements is something that would pay itself back quite quickly. Another answer we got was we feel it is expensive. And our response was 14.95 for a level 1 study would yield, say, an 8% reduction in energy. Does this still feel that expensive? A third and last question was what is the cost of energy, both electricity, gas, and others? And one of the answers we got back was we pay 25 cents per kilowatt hour. Not sure what we pay for gas, but there's no electrical replacement for a boiler anyway. And our response was there's always an electrical replacement, sometimes direct, other times not direct. Especially keeping in mind that energy can be bought cheaply out of the grid during downtimes. This can be converted to heat or cold and can be stored to be used for process later. In this way, you might not need a big boiler. You can use a smaller boiler. Another answer we got back was we have solar, we have reduced our energy cost already. And our response was yes, in theory you have. But how much have you really? Are you exporting to the grid the surplus energy for 3 cents per kilowatt hour? Or are you selling it for less? Because the cost of solar is not going to be any less than 3 cents per kilowatt hour. So, thank you for your time and thank you for participating in this webinar, focusing on maximizing energy efficiency strategies. We trust you have found this webinar valuable in your decision making to take the next step on your energy efficiency journey and start saving money on energy. For any inquiries, please complete the contact form on our website and we will typically respond back within 24 hours. Goodbye.